Okay. Let's go. Bring it. We're live. I always worry about like leaving the cursor on end recording.
Why?
That it'll randomly just click it on its own mid like pod record.
Sure.
Like the ghost of the pod recording nation will be like, haha, gotcha. And record.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I know you're not. It's fine. Hello, everybody. So let's get going. In episode 17, all right, that was a couple episodes ago, we didn't get to everything. And so we're back for part 2. I have some really good questions from my Instagram following that I think people would like to hear. So we're diving deeper today, sharing more of Bella's story.
I'm on the pod too.
Yes, you're with your hosts, Lyle and Kyla. You got 2 of us today. 2 of us. We're going to talk about what grief looks like 8 months after losing our daughter and answering the hard but important questions you've sent in previously.
Okay.
So let's get going. We're going to start exciting and fun, like we usually do with my gup dates.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
hear it out.
I have something new for my gup date because there's some sad parts to the story. So I wanted to start it with, let's see if you can catch what I'm trying to do here. I know you've been swimming with anticipation.
No, don't start like that. Is it going to be the whole way? I was fiddling with my microphone, not really listening. That totally snapped me out of it. Is it going to be this the whole time?
I like puns, okay? People know this about me. I have 3 more. Just hold on.
Who's this for?
You and everybody listening that loves puns.
Okay. Proceed.
Things are really fantastic in the tank lately.
That was a good one.
That's a lie. I just use that for the pun. Things are not fantastic.
Is that a pun? Just shoehorning in the word fin?
Fantastic.
No, that reminds me of one of like
Play on
Bella or
words?
Waylon's joke books where, you know, they just shoehorn in the second time I used that, the joke. It's kind of,
I guess you could say we're living life on one gill at a time. Gill at a time.
what would it be otherwise? Not Gil.
One moment.
Okay, yeah, that's not a pun.
But it's really, well, one manta ray. Stink manta ray at a time. Manta ray? Is that a
For
fish?
a pun lover,
One guppy.
just saying fish words randomly isn't puns.
Okay, my first one is, though, I know you've been swimming with anticipation. Right? Do we need a pun? Do we need a dictionary here? What is a pun?
I'll let you pursue.
These are really good, though.
Pun? Like, I can't think of one right now. I'm sorry.
Any drama in the tank? Do I have you hooked with anticipation?
That's a pun.
Okay.
That's a good pun.
Is that my best?
Yeah.
Okay. I now have you hooked with anticipation because hook relates to a fish hook, and also I have you hooked in the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it. That's all. Your torture is over.
Just like it. We finally broke down this because you've been doing it for the 20 years I've known you, but I've never really called you out on it. Of course, we have to go on the pod for me to call you up.
What did you call me out at the dugout the other day? That was a good one.
Down at our pond?
At our dugout.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what a dugout is, it's a water supply that we
It's a
harness.
pond that you dig.
It's a pond that you dig. And
What did I call you? I don't know.
it was a word. Remember, your example was like, we don't say we walked.
Oh, no.
Drowned.
No, yeah, because you were saying...
Drowned.
Oh, no, Waylon, don't go over this. Somebody could drown you.
Drowned.
No, you sound drowned.
No, I did not say drowned. I know that's not right.
No,
I
you
said,
did say drowned, and now you know it's not right.
No, I did not say drowned. I know it's
I know
drowned.
it sounds terrible now that I told you.
No, it was the D on the end of drowned. Like, you think it's drown, and I said drowned.
No. The past of drowning. Oh,
He drowned. Yeah.
You were saying drowned, and I said I didn't walked it away.
No, I said he drowned. Like
that's
he drowned.
proper.
Like whether there's a D on the end.
You were putting 2 D's in.
I did not say drowned.
Drowned.
Oh, I wish I was.
You just very naturally said it.
No, I did not say drowned. I was like, you don't want to drown. It was whether or not you say drown or drowned.
If you're talking about the past tense, drowned is proper.
Yeah, because I
Yes.
can't remember now. And now I just look bad. But there was something I needed to look up on in the dictionary with it.
With
You drowned.
drowning, when you went down there, you said drowned.
I can't believe I said that. That's terrible.
That's why I corrected you.
Oh my god.
I said we don't.
I thought
We
it was
didn't
something
walk
else.
it away.
I know that.
We walked away.
Walked.
They drowned.
Drowned. I must have said drowned, and that is like an idiot moment for me.
Hey, I didn't call you that.
I'm calling myself that. If that's what I said, I remembered it differently. I thought we were just talking about the D versus the N ending.
I think in Canada we say you experienced it differently.
Where did that come from?
That's what Trudeau said.
Really?
RPM. When he was like,
oh, you experienced.
I think some reporter was saying he was like really grabby in an interview like 20 years, and he's just like, oh no, he was talking about one of his MPs, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, we experienced it differently. Just totally wrote her off.
Okay, well, speaking of drown, I know this is not a great topic, but the drama of my gup date.
I was worried sometimes about like, how are we gonna fill 45 minutes?
I think
we've filled 10 minutes, and you're almost into your first story.
I need to consider your our banter
input?
and your input and take some things. Okay.
I really dragged the conversation down.
You dragged it down. You really drowned it out. You drowned it out. Get it?
I drowned it out.
That was a good one.
Drowned. Now you're messing me up.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I drowned you out.
The drama in the tank is we have lost an adult guppy. I'm very sad. I was cleaning both tanks out the other day. All 8 of our guppy fries are great. They're doing amazing. They're growing. Waylon scared me the other morning because he runs out to the living room and we're still in bed. And he's like, Mom, come here. I was like, oh, what's happening? Is there a bear outside? Like, what's going on? And he's like, his nose is like on the glass tank of the guppy fries. He's like, they're growing.
Mm-hmm.
Look how big. Like, he was so excited with how big they are.
He notices them as much as I do, clearly.
I was going to ask you.
The guppies were you and Bella.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because they didn't grow overnight.
Yeah. And guppies pass away, right? Like, this is how I've come to have like 4 guppies instead of like 2. And then previously we've had like 5. Anyways, we're down to 3 adults, sadly. Because, okay, so we have Pearl, Squirt, Stinky, and Dirty. And Dirty passed away the other day.
You pinned it on the cat.
I pinned it on the cat for a couple days.
You always do that. There's no chance they can get in there.
Well, you don't think of a fish drowning. Did I say that right? I can't believe we're going into this conversation more. But
I told you said it like that.
Drowning. It was drowning or drowning?
No, drowning.
Drowning. But I said drowning. And you said we don't walk it did.
Or walk-ding.
Walk-ding. That's what it was.
We don't
I was saying
walk-ding.
drowning instead of drowning.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
But saying drowning.
I didn't say drowning. I'm not that bad. I said drowning. And I was like, the D is in there. And you're like, we don't say walked-ing. We say walking. And I'm like, because you should say drowning. And I was saying drowning.
Yeah.
It was the ding. Okay. Anyways, so I couldn't find who did I say? Stinky or Dirty? Who died? One of the twins. Stinky and Dirty look the same. I'm pretty sure they're both female. But anyways, I think I told Waylon that Dirty died. Dirty died. And it just wasn't in the tank. Our 4th fish wasn't in it. I'm like, where's our 4th fish? And then I was like, we've had the cats in lately. I'm like, definitely Sajak. Sajak stuck his little paw in there. Got one for breakfast.
But it's not a wide open top. Like, you can't get his paw in there.
It wasn't the cat, but I just thought it was the cat because I was like, I didn't see the fish. Mm-hmm. Then I go to clean the tank, and Dirty was under. I have a little boat sculpture in there. He was under it. And there's like holes to swim through the boat sculpture, but there's like a little, I don't know.
And you just cleaned that tank like a week prior. That's always how it goes.
I know.
Right?
So
it gets dirty. I wonder why it's really dirty.
Yeah. So he just got stuck. And I guess couldn't move.
I think.
But it's not like he drowned because he's a fish.
I think they have to keep moving to breathe.
Yeah.
So if he's not able to move, he suffocated.
It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to say that a fish suffocated when they have gills. And they
How did
breathe in
Waylon
water.
take the news?
Like, he dropped his peanut butter sandwich on the floor. Like, it didn't matter. He was just like, oh, okay. Picked it up, kept eating. Like,
Okay. There was no big grand.
no,
Yeah.
he was not. He would not, like,
It was
Bella
a
would
reasonable
have.
reaction.
We would dig a hole in the backyard, put up a little stick. I'd have to, like, laminate a piece of paper that said "Goodbye, Dirty,"
She's
and
cute
we'd
for
make a
those
little
moments.
grave. Yeah. Waylon's like, oh, that's too bad. Goes on doing his thing.
Let's go play catch.
I was more sad. Yeah, I was more sad than he was. He was also very excited about the growing baby fries, so that kind of
Yeah, that's true.
was a good part of it. Something else we didn't get to in our last episode with you and I was our funniest Bella memories from your funniest Bella memories. I mentioned some of her best, like, comedic moments, because of course I can't just pick my favorite and there's not just one. I mentioned her hilarious way that she would always her dramatic laundry technique. Before she put her laundry away, she couldn't just put her laundry away. She had to make a joke about it, so she'd, like, wear her underwear on her head and tell me she had a new haircut. But I know that I think you had some memories you wanted to share, whether they're the funniest ones you think, honey, or whether they're just a memory that's really, like, stood out in your mind lately. And let me know when you're ready to share. And while you're thinking of it, I wanted to mention too, I did something recently for Bella that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And this is like a little story about earrings. So Bella, because of her immune deficiency and all of her surgeries and her immune deficiency and that sort of thing, living with a bowel disease. Anyways, she didn't have B cells. Her B cells never fully recovered, and therefore we had to be very cautious of infection, things that could cause infection. So it wasn't really allowed. She wasn't allowed to get earrings pierced as young as she wanted to, and she's just kind of fine. And then I have my ears pierced. She always loved, like, the magnet earrings or the hook earrings. And anyways, she was, like, always really wanting to get her ears pierced, and she never could. It just, like, never worked out. And then when she did get the opportunity to do it, and the doctors were like, yes, you can do it, it's okay. She was like, no. And she kind of, like, chickened out because of the piercing. And it's like, because she was smart enough to understand how a piercing works. And I was like, oh, I got it. And I was like, you don't have to worry. I was like, given what you've been through, honey, I'm like, this is less than a millisecond and we could put freezing cream on and it doesn't have to hurt. Like, it's just.
I can see where she's coming from, though.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, I know what I've been through. I don't need to
I don't need more. Yeah.
One more is more than I need.
Yeah. So that turned into a joke where she'd just be like, when I'm 90, Mom, when I'm 90. She'd be like, when I'm 90. And we'd always joke about her being this little old lady with, like, newly ears pierced, because she's like, yeah, she kind of, like, didn't want to do it anymore. And then, but her love for it, I wanted to carry on. And so I got my ears pierced the other day for a second time. So I have 2 holes on each side, and I got her birthstone.
Yeah.
Which is December, of course. And I just wanted to share that. I recently did that, and it just felt really, really good. And
very cute.
Yeah.
I was thinking about stories with Bella, and I even looked through on my phone, and the funniest ones never really stuck out to me. As far as, like,
more sentimental
there's
ones.
More sentimental, sweet ones.
Yeah.
And I think that was more of our relationship. You are the jokester.
Yeah.
And I just, one of the best moments is always, we had a ritual, or we would always do Christmas shopping together. It was always Bella and I, and we would always go up and down Main Street, going to every shop. And there would always be a flood of, like, kind of attention, which Bella always managed to draw.
Yeah.
And we would just try to pick things out for you. And we would always go to OJ's for a dinner date afterwards, and it was always just sweet. And we would do that. The dinner date was very our
daddy-daughter dinner
thing
date
that we would do. Oh God, probably once or twice a month, probably.
Yeah.
And you guys were cool with it. Yeah, I'm not going on. She loved it.
Oh, she loved it solo, like, with just you.
Yeah.
Like, that was important to her, like, daddy-daughter date.
One funny thing was when it'd be bedtime, and Bella and Waylon's bedrooms are just down the hall from us. And she always liked her bedroom door wide open.
Yeah.
Waylon would always close, or we would just close his because he's trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And she would always yell at us to
turn
turn on The Office.
Oh, yeah.
I think she just found it really comforting listening to, like...
Make sure you watch The Office.
Well, it's not a noisy show, right? And so she'd be like, can you just put on The Office? I don't like this. Like, we'd be watching something not.
She
Like, even
liked,
just a little bit of action is
yeah,
not peaceful.
she liked hearing us laugh. That gave her comfort.
Okay.
And knowing we were close. Because if we turned on something like freaking Doomsday Murder Number 29 in the
Who's watching
Scary
this
Castle.
terrible show?
No, it's just like anything with like a scary title.
Well, because
She'd be like, no.
after she would go to bed, it was always, what was the request? Don't go downstairs, don't go outside.
Yeah, don't go upstairs, don't go outside, don't go on the deck. There was like 3 different places she didn't want us to
It
go.
was those 3.
She wanted us to be close.
And it was mostly me just going outside. She didn't want me to leave the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always would.
Yeah.
Because in the summer.
She didn't like that.
You would
Because
stay in, but
well, she was, if you don't know, like for context, she would most nights, she would need to be connected to IV fluids,
Mhm.
as well as her ostomy drainage would be hooked up. So
Yeah.
she could get
or
out of
feed
bed,
tubes. Yeah.
or feed tubes. Like she could get out of bed on her own. Like she did that constantly in the mornings. But if she would need to then push her IV pole or carry her ostomy drainage or carry her feed bag. Like it was just like difficult for her. She's like,
So she didn't really emotionally need us. She just like, if I need anything, I need you to help me move these items.
well, yeah. And I mean,
It's logistically, I don't want you to leave the house.
like, don't leave. And there was
That's
enough
fair.
times where it's like it really bothered her if her IV pump beeped.
Yeah.
Or if her feed
that
pump
was always
beeped.
it.
Yeah. So it's like, and that beep is just like, and it wakes you up. It's so loud. Like
Any nurse knowing.
Yeah.
Well, anyone
Yeah.
exposed to the hospital knows how awful those pumps are.
Yeah. So imagine having your feed pump or your IV pump beeping at you and your parents aren't in the house. You can't call them or we're without.
I should have said I would leave the house. You'd always stay inside. If that
Yeah,
was
of
something.
course. Yeah. But like there's been times where it's like we'd go downstairs and watch a movie
Uh-huh.
and her pump would beep and then we couldn't hear it. And so she'd be like, Mom,
Yeah,
Dad,
that
my
really
pump's
messed her up.
here. And then she just hated that because then it was like she had to listen to this.
She'd get out of bed, drag her pump to the
Oh,
stairs, and scream at us. I think probably happened twice.
Yeah, but she just like, it was enough to be like, don't go downstairs, don't go outside. Don't go upstairs, don't watch anything scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And sometimes we joke with her. She'd be like, hey, don't go outside, don't go downstairs. We'd be like, okay, we're just going to go out on the deck. And then we're going to go for a walk outside. And then we might go back on the deck. And she's just like, Mom. She'd get mad and she knew we were joking. So we had a lot of like difficult questions, I think. But I think they're important questions that we didn't get to from our Instagram followers. And I really wanted to get to some. We can do rapid fire questions. We can answer them however we want. But I thought they're really important to acknowledge, especially with our grief journey or any like medical parents or anyone really just like going through it.
Sure.
As well as siblings for Waylon. So one of the questions was, what is grief like 8 months after losing Bella? Like where we are right now. Like how would you describe the grief season we are in? I thought that like 8 months feels different. I think we both noticed how grief shifts, but it never really lessens. And I was wondering how you would describe it.
I'm thinking.
I feel like in the first few, I didn't really notice a shift until I would say 6 months. I'd say 6 months in, I noticed a shift, and I can kind of recognize that now that we're 8 months out. But I would say the main feeling being in the beginning is physical pain that is debilitating for a while. And then it gets into the mental pain and the mental fog. And like you'd mentioned earlier, that black cloud that kind of taints everything. And the shift, I've noticed a sooner shift with the physical pain, but the mental pain fog is still very heavy.
I was going to say, yeah, I echo that. There's that show we were watching. What was it? Paradise. Was it on Disney? Apple? It was cool. Really cool show.
Yeah,
Lots of good cliffhangers and twists. But
that's really crazy.
one of the things was the one mother lost her son.
I wanted to take that
It was
clip.
in the first episode.
I wanted to take that clip and share it on our socials. It's so powerful. It was so spot on to what I'm feeling.
Well, we're trying to just relax, chill
Yeah.
in the evening, and
Yeah.
then we're watching a show. In the very first episode of the show, it's been 6 months since my 10-year-old daughter died.
It was like
We're like, well, that hits a
her
little
son.
close to home.
Oh,
I'm trying
yeah.
to
Yeah.
try and watch the show.
We had a
And she
10-year-old kid
was
passed away.
talking to her
Yeah.
therapist,
Yeah.
and she's like, it's supposed to be easier, but now, and it's not at all. And I'm like, well, that
The reason she
nails it.
gave hit the nail on the head for me. She said it's the pain is supposed to lessen. It's supposed to get better. And she said it is not. It is getting worse because time. She's like, time heals. People are telling me time's supposed to help it. And she's like, no,
You're getting mad.
you're getting mad. And she's like, it's because time is taking me further away from the moment they were alive.
Yeah.
Time is taking me further away from when I was with them when they were alive. And I
Really
was
good.
like,
It was like someone
oh,
that's experienced grief wrote that.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
100%.
quite powerful.
Yeah.
It definitely something that resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I think we have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
And you had a bad day yesterday. And just that's how it goes. But I think we are much more functional
We are.
now.
Yeah.
You can kind of snap yourself out of it if you need to accomplish tasks now. There's no other emotion like it.
No.
And it's hard to describe.
It's very
unless you know it.
unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When do you think we're going to be ready to talk about her final week in hospital?
Well, not today.
No. No. But we've said that a
I don't
few
think we have
times.
enough time.
No, we would need to set aside an entire episode front to back for that.
Somebody asked that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've never shared the details around how her life actually ended. We've just shared the medical details and that lost conversation.
Not even that.
Well, we did share and
Oh, yeah, the autopsy results.
we shared
Sure.
the autopsy results, but we never shared like her last moments alive. That week before she did pass. I don't know if we'll ever be ready. I just know that this feeling I have inside of me of everyone out there, like I'm talking to you guys, like my listeners and my viewers, everyone that are like social community.
Mhm.
I know they're grieving right alongside us. I feel that, and I know that every day from like their beautiful messages. And so I know that they want to be able to grieve with us and understand fully as well, and I want to give that to them. I don't think I'm ever going to be ready, of course. I know it's something we need to do together, but it is something that I would like to share so they can have full understanding as well for everyone in this community that loved her wholeheartedly too.
I have no problem sharing.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think, and I've been
Yeah.
noticing it that I never expected this, but I still haven't went into like your TikTok account and rewatched things. I'd find it too painful still. And it's like, you know what, at some point I'm gonna have to pull the Band-Aid off because if I don't do that, I'll still feel the same way in 10 years.
Yeah.
And then I'm missing out on memories. And so at some point I just gotta be like, you know what, I'm sitting down for an hour tonight and rewatching some of these things that I remember help create.
Well, at the end of this episode,
fun moments.
Yeah. At the end
I just know it's going to be too painful right now, but I'm like, why don't I just do it?
I understand that, and because I have been able to, for a different reason. So at the end of this episode, I'm going to explain a very heartfelt story that has to do with me rewatching and resharing some videos of Bella.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to share that at the end, and I'll tell you guys all about that story start to finish. But knowing that and understanding that, I think will really help you when you go back into being able to
It's bad enough that even when you do share some of those,
you catch them.
Well, I flip by.
You flip by.
I'm like, I'm trying to focus on something I can't. I know what it'll do to me. And it was like, what was I doing when you created that post with Bella talking about her
18-year-old self?
Yeah, 18-year-old self. I think I was trying to cook supper.
Yeah.
And
that's when I had to put my earbuds in because I knew it was affecting you. So I put my earbuds in because when I edit a video, I need to listen, right?
Yeah.
So I put my earbuds in knowing that it would affect you. And I was like, okay, that's why he doesn't have to listen to it while I edit the video.
Well, no, because you said, because at the start of it, what was Bella's saying, this is what I want to be when I'm 18.
Yeah. And it just
I was just like, well, I need to leave.
Yeah. You just looked at me like,
what do you expect me to do now?
And just her little voice. I know. It's kind of like when I clean her room or I reorganize her room or when we initially got home and I needed to, organize everything. It is a heavy physical, mental feat to go back in time and either listen to her see her in a video, move her physical stuff around, move her dresses around,
Right.
that sort of thing. You need a minute to actually take all that in and have the energy to do that, because it's heavy. It's heavy because you want to sit. I found myself, sitting with an object or sitting with her sweater. That's a really big item for me. Is when we came home. Sorry guys. The sweater that she picked out at this place in Toronto. It was like I forget.
Right, you guys went shopping at the mall?
We went to this like what do you call those events where people have booths all set up?
Right. Okay.
Anyways, and we watched a horse show, and we found these beautiful knit sweaters from Peru, and she picked hers out.
Oh, it was her first day, her back to school outfit.
Oh, it was, well, no, like it was just a real beautiful sweater that she wanted, because the one she got before was too small, and she wanted one just like it. And I was like, oh, we're gonna go to this event with these friends, and these sweaters are gonna be there. Anyways, she wore it all the time, and she unzipped it and left it beside her Barbie house downstairs, and it was still there when we got home from Toronto without her. And so it was like the one item I knew she wore that I hadn't washed yet. And so quite often I would just sit there for hours and smell it. And like when I picked it up off the ground and hung it back in her closet, it's like, that took me like 2 hours. Sorry guys, I'm crying all over the microphone again. It's heavy, but like these are the things.
Right.
Yeah. Shifting to a different emotion. How do we deal with anger? People want to know how we deal with the anger of her passing, and if anger is actually a part of our grief.
Well, I think like we just spoke about it, a little bit ago. I'm dealing with anger as we get further away.
Yeah. I noticed you put that in there. That's interesting that was like the next question that came up.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have experienced anger.
Faith has replaced anger.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
I'm just angry that we're getting further away.
Yeah.
Angry at myself. That, I wish I could retain this stuff better.
Yeah, I get that.
So
yeah.
That would be my answer.
Do you think talking about it helps, or do we process more in silence?
Oh, you kidding me? Process in silence? I don't know.
Right? Like we're kind of like the opposite. Like we can't. I feel like processing in silence is heavier.
Although, like when I heard that clip of Bella talking and it just hit me really hard.
Yeah.
I didn't run over to you, and you knew that I didn't need you. I just took a minute by myself.
Yeah. You can take minutes by yourself, but I think to process through feeling like
it was nice knowing like you knew.
Yeah.
What I was dealing with.
Yeah.
But that was nice. I know you knew, but I didn't need you there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. How have we helped Waylon grieve Bella? So there's a lot of people out there that want to help, the siblings of their child that they lost. What's helped Waylon the most? What's been the hardest in our eyes for him? And with his grief, him grieving Bella. What do you think has helped him the most?
It doesn't affect him day to day, I don't think, but just it hits him a lot at bedtime when we are talking about it, when we are doing prayers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's obviously a good thing.
He's also the type of kid that is very, I don't know a better way to put it, like besides smart, he understood everything. And I think the way we brought it up from the moment we had to tell him to the moments following, that he was not a kid that was like, why, how? He was like, he got it, and then he would let us know he got it by the things and the sentences he would say after. And so he was just very smart and understanding about it, and very empathetic about it. So I think just having a kid like that, a sibling like that, he was so close with her, he felt more pain, I think, than he had questions.
Does he relive he does relive moments,
memories
and moments.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when he's doing something that he would normally have done with Bella, has that come up? I'm not sure. Do you know?
He brings it up in a memory form
Right.
all the time. Like if he's doing an activity, he's like, "Oh, Bella would have loved this," or "Bella used to do this with me," or "Bella used to do it this way."
Yeah.
He brings it up in conversation all the time, and I think the way that we help him is like we recognize, "Oh, this is how he's grieving. He needs to talk about her."
Oh,
And so we expand those conversations and say, "Yes, buddy, and what else? And this also happened with Bella, and do you remember this?"
yeah.
And you can see that craving from him.
Mm.
And I think that really helps him. I think what's been hardest for him is he constantly voices how much he misses her, and he constantly voices how much he wishes she was still here.
Yeah.
I think that's been the hardest for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he holds it in.
He doesn't hold it in. Like he's accepted it, but he's just like, this freaking sucks. Like I want my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How do we respond? Someone's wondering, how do we respond when someone says sorry for your loss? It's a well-meaning phrase, but sometimes it lands heavy. So when someone says to you, sorry for your loss, how do we respond to that?
Well, appropriately, like, well, thank you. I don't know. That seems. Oh, and internally, I think I empathize with that person having to, just not stick their neck out, but know that it's a hard subject and it's an awkward conversation. So I mean, I respect the person for doing that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just don't know, like, if even
What
just
to say.
saying something as simple as sorry for your loss, they don't understand that no, we need to hear that, whether you say like her name with it, but just the fact that you are recognizing it, acknowledging
Yeah.
it in the simplest way. Thank you. Yeah, like no, thank you for saying that. That we don't even need to say anything back. It's just sitting in that moment going, okay, this person acknowledges it, they understand it, they care about the way we feel, and like that's enough.
Right.
That's awesome. So like even if we respond with like something as simple as like thank you, like that means a lot. Like know in our hearts that like if we don't have the words, just knowing that you're acknowledging it is enough.
Right.
And that means a lot. Another Instagram follower asked about transitioning to hospital life. What do we remember most about this transition? And I think this will help a lot of like medical parents that understand that we had a long year of in and out of long 10 years of in and out of hospital. And so this is like the number one thing that a lot of medical families struggle with is that transition in and out of hospital life. And I thought one way that really really set well in my memory is that we always would refer to it as the rock star lifestyle, and we'd hype up the fun parts and make it feel like we were jet setters with Bella. And she really liked that analogy because we were on planes a lot. We were going to different cities a lot because her medical care required us to go to Calgary and Toronto and Saskatoon.
Bella, she enjoyed the good parts.
She was like, oh, I get
Doesn't
to
have
go
to
to
go to school.
I get to go to a big city. Like she loved Calgary and Toronto. They were big cities to her.
She's not interested in living on a farm.
No. So this was like, we were like, yeah, we're like rock stars. So we got to go. So it was never like, oh crap, we have to go into the hospital, this horrible, scary experience. She was like, oh, right, another tour, another rock star lifestyle. Like we never included fear in speaking about it when we spoke about it out loud. We always looked at the positives, and I think that really helped with her transitions. So back in hospital wasn't negative or a setback. We'd often word it like a break or a new tour for new fun things. Oh, we get to see your child life friends again. We get to go do this fun thing. We get to go for supper at Earl's. She freaking loved Earl's.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Earl's in Calgary and Toronto. I remember the Toronto restaurant. We'd share on socials when we went, of course, because we were like, they were amazing to us. And we went there all the time with Bella, that they would message me on Instagram, and the manager would come up to us, and they even gave Bella, I believe they called it like a management pin. So it was like this special metal, colorful parrot that only the managers wore. And they gave one to Bella, and she was like, yes, thank you. That is me. I'm going to be the manager of Earl's today, and I'm enjoying my fancy dinner out. It was amazing. It was sweet the way they made us feel. And so like, referring to our transition to hospital life and really emphasizing these positive, exciting moments for her really made it so much easier on her. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The last follower question asks, Lyle and Kyla, what are the most helpful things someone can do for a family going through this? Um, I always thinking back, we can expand this into like grief stages, but also just thinking medical lives for medical parents and caregivers. That I always think of it as every time it's a jump and run scenario. So we abandon our home at a moment's notice. We have no time. It's just grab and go. So I think really helpful for families in this situation is stock their freezer, send e-gift cards, call the hospital they're at and have supplies or gifts sent to their room.
Uber Eats was always great.
Uber
Like
Eats
if someone said, "Oh, I sent
huge.
you $50 on Uber Eats," I'm like, "Oh my
Perfect.
god!"
Perfect.
That
Yeah.
and someone checking in on house.
That's what I was just going to say. Check on their house and pets, pay for gas and food. And I said the essentials, I narrowed it down to 3. Maybe you have a different set of 3, but I thought the essentials in hospital are always going to be coffee, food, and gifts for the kid.
Right.
Yeah, I
Time
would say,
killers.
yeah, that would be the main things. Yeah, like activities, gifts for the child that's there,
No more stuff.
food and coffee for
Don't mail stuff.
not stuff. Like I think I mastered the art of like we came home from Toronto twice after long-term stays without needing like a
But
truckload
I shouldn't
driven.
say don't send stuff. That makes me sound
No, but stuff that you can use up there. Use
yeah,
up where
stuff you
they
can
are.
use up was great.
Not a bunch of things that you feel are going to be really sentimental for the child and then they're
Whether
trying to
bring
get
home
this like
or try to find a
giant
home for.
yeah, like trying to get this giant teddy bear on the
But
plane.
like I shouldn't say that because when Bella had like Lego mailed to her, it was awesome.
Oh, and
And she couldn't be more happy building it for another hour or two.
and we made it work
Yeah.
because there was some sets.
But then you'd find a home for the set
Yeah,
before we go home.
yeah, the
So it's
sets.
perfect. Stuff works.
Oh yeah, make it work. Like for Bella, Lego meant a lot. And so we made it work. And so we went through some sets that she received and she was like, "No, mom, disable this set, pack it up or bring it home in the suitcase."
Oh right, yeah. And she'd build it when she get
And
home.
she built it again when she got home and she's like, "Sweet, I get to build it twice." And then other ones were like, "Okay, you know what? I'm not attached to this one, so we're going to donate it to the Ronald McDonald House or I'm going to gift it to a friend that lives in Toronto."
So things that they can do. Those are always really good care packages.
Yeah.
And we received lots of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things they could do, use up. Yeah, it meant a lot. Like Bella loved spa nights. We do spa nights. So like nail polish, face masks.
Right.
She loved Lush and the special like products she could use at Lush, like for bubble baths or, that sort of thing, or bath bombs. All right, so back to I mentioned this earlier. I wanted to end saying a big thank you to our TikTok followers, and I mentioned this scenario from a TikTok follower that had to deal with me reminiscing over videos of Bella from the past. And so there was one TikTok follower in particular. Let me restart this. I wanted to end by saying a big thank you to our TikTok followers, one in particular, and the many of you that continue to carry on Bella's brave legacy with us in beautiful ways. So I posted this TikTok recently that went viral. Lyle mentioned it earlier. It's the one where Bella had a creative writing assignment, and this was during their Christmas concert, kind of end of year assembly for the Ronald McDonald House School in Toronto.
Right.
So we're sitting there, and Bella had written a letter to her 18-year-old self as a creative writing project. And so, of course, I videoed that of her entire letter she wrote. And this was totally unexpected, but the best part was not like sharing this video on TikTok as I did, went viral. And the best part, of course, is not the views, because that's not why I share. I shared because this was a memory that I know that I have millions on this platform grieving my daughter right alongside me, and I wanted to share it with them. But the best part is what came after. I had a follower reach out, Dar Ventures. Her name is Darla. She's from BC, Canada. And she had an idea in the comments, and she had said, "We need Bella shirts that say, 'Always eat dessert, travel more, and be kind.'" Because in the video, Bella talks to her 18-year-old self saying, like, these are things we got to do. We got to love our best friend. We got to travel more. We got to go on a date and make sure we ask, mom and dad if it's okay first. And she was talking about how her 18-year-old self like needs to be brave and be
Right.
loving and kind. And it was just like beautiful. And then Darla wrote like, "We need shirts let's say this, right? And I was just like, and so I like read that comment and I'm like, I haven't paid much attention to our merch website for a while, and I thought, what a beautiful idea. And I was like, I'm doing this. So I went on and I made a crew neck and I made a follow-up TikTok saying, Darla, guess what? I made the shirt and I'm going to send you a free one because I love this sincere, heartfelt idea so much. And
That's cool.
it was just a beautiful way that, like, you know, I'm sharing our memories of Bella with our followers on our socials.
Yeah.
And
Bringing things together.
Bringing things together. And I was just like, this is amazing. And it just worked out beautifully. And I'm just so happy that I want to do more things. I want to be creative in that way with our followers because I'm understanding more and more how much this means to them, sharing these memories.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's anything else you wanted to mention before we wrap up, I have an outro.
No, I think that's good for me.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We did really good. How did we do with timing? Like
I think we're at 40 minutes.
We're getting better. We're getting better at this. So I mean, if we leave our listeners wanting more and we're ending it, that's a good thing.
That's what I try to do.
Yeah, listen in next week, guys, right? Okay, so thanks so much for spending time with us.
I overstay my welcome quite often.
Yeah.
So that's ideal. I idealize getting out early. Say like, and I'm like, oh, I should leave now.
Yeah.
And then you do. Like, oh man, it feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't like leaving early from things now? That's the best.
We have an out. And so I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in with us today. We are very grateful to share these stories and conversations with you. If something spoke to you, please share Beyond Brave with someone who needs it. And don't forget to rate and review because your support helps more people discover our podcast and keeps these conversations going. You can also connect with us on Instagram at KylaCT and LyleMT.
I forgot about my...
Right? Until today, I also did. I was like, ooh, Lyle's going to be so excited.
I was thinking if you did a Venn diagram of your followers and like who my followers are.
Yeah.
I doubt there's a single person that's on my Instagram that doesn't follow you.
Oh, yeah.
So the Venn diagram would just be this massive, massive bubble, which contains yours.
Yeah.
And then mine would be just like this
little dot.
speck.
A little speck.
Fully inside your bubble.
I thought it'd be interesting to know.
So it's not even a diagram.
Because I think I have close to 500,000 followers on Instagram.
Okay. I mean.
Well, just giving the audience context here. You have what, 5,000 now?
No, I don't think I'm
around there. But how many of them follow me?
All of them.
Or how many of them don't follow me?
None of them. I just said that. That's the Venn diagram. That's why I'm fully enclosed within you.
Within me.
Yeah.
That's true. Anyways, it helps. All of it helps. So keep the conversation going. And until next time, please take care of your heart and always stay brave.
Thank you. There you go.
That was really good. See? Yeah. You didn't have to like snap me out of a droning on convo. I really kept it